JetBoil Genesis here for a while, but in my opinion, it's a little too much stove for 1 or 2 people because it comes with a massive skillet, and then if you ever needed just to boil water, you have to use this big old pot here. So if I'm just doing a cup or 2 of water, this is a little overkill, and that is where this comes in. This is the replacement. Here, it's still a JetBoil system. As you can see, I made a little case and I did a bunch of cutouts for it. This is my adapter to go to my propane tank. Next, this is the replacement for the big skillet. It's basically a little smaller skillet, and it comes with a little spatula built into the handle that you can take out. You see the size comparison, a little bit smaller. Better size for 1 to 2 people. And then next up, we have a JetBoil 1.8 liter cup. This allows me to boil water much easier and faster versus this, I believe it's like a 5 liter pot or 5 quart pot. And then next we have the replacement for if I ever needed a pot to do like soup or something like that. That's where this one comes in, this little smaller pot here. And so far this has been great to do any cooking for using a pot versus the big one. Now for the stove replacement, right here is, they call this a JetBoil Luna, and this stove here is actually a 3rd burner to the JetBoil Genesis. In order for this to work, it has to be plugged into the JetBoil Genesis for this stove to work. This allows you to give you a 3rd burner, and that's where the cup would come into play. I find myself many times where I'm just trying to boil water, so I would have to pull all this out, set up this setup, and then attach the Luna just to be able to use the cup here to boil water. Since then, I have found a way to use this without needing the JetBoil Genesis. So it comes with a regulator that you can connect to a 1 pound propane tank. In my case, I use the hose attachment that goes to a bigger tank. More cost effective that way. But the problem is the regulator here, they are not meant to go together. They have the same fitting, so they can't thread together. I figured out that I can put the 2 together and use my JetBoil Luna without this setup here. The problem is this connection here does not stay, so I 3D printed a coupler here, and this allows me to keep the 2 together. And now I can hook this up to a propane tank, a 1 pound propane tank, or my big propane tank with the hose kit. And then now the cup slots into this perfectly. The skillet can't really use over it, and same thing with the pot. JetBoil sells, I believe they call this a pot support, and you got to open this up, and this will sit inside, and now you're able to use your skillet normally, like so, and then same thing with the pot. This one has the flux ring on there, so just sit right inside like that, and now you can use the pot. When I was looking up the parts or all the pieces for all this pot here, this is an old pot. I bought this years ago, and they no longer make this specific one. They updated theirs. I don't know if the size dimensions are different. I believe it's still the same, but they may have changed the overall like shape of it. But this is a different pot than what's available currently. To keep everything nice and organized, I have here an Apache 3800 case. You can get this case, I got this one from Harbor Freight. I believe they sell these online as well. And what I did was trim this out to basically fit everything that's part of this kit. So the cup would go here, and then the pot has its own spot here, and then the pot support, once folded up, will drop in right here. And then for the JetBoil Luna stove, I keep it already attached. Helps with speeds up the setup time, and this bad boy just drops into its spot here, and then the rest of the hoses just run along the outside here. Next we have the skillet, which will go on above everything else. And then last I have my hose kit that sits on top of the skillet. And then once everything's in place, close the case, and now I have a nice waterproof case to keep basically my stove kitchen setup all in one spot.